Can I just start by expressing my own deepest condolences to you, Javier, and to all of our Spanish colleagues, and indeed to the Spanish nation on the terrible loss that you have suffered in recent days in Valencia. Our hearts are broken, and my thoughts and prayers are with all of you. Honourable members of the European Parliament, I am pleased to appear before you today as Commissioner Designate for Democracy, Justice and the Rule of Law. Is mór an priviléged é le bheith anseo libh go léir sa Parliament ar maidin chun ceistne an tábhachtach do bhaintear na huirpe a phlé, go an buíochas libh as an deis. Je tiens à remercier tous ceux qui ont participé à l'organisation de cette audition. C'est un exercice important pour notre démocratie. Together, you represent no fewer than 8 parliamentary committees. This underlines the broad nature of the portfolio President von der Leyen has entrusted me with. Upholding the rule of law, protecting the fundamental rights set out in the Charter, ensuring free and fair elections, a vibrant pluralist media and enhancing consumer protection are topics that touch the very core of what the European Union and this Parliament represent. I want to begin, therefore, with a promise to work closely with this House, consulting and listening to your advice at every stage of my work, should you confirm me as a European Commissioner. Like you, I am a parliamentarian. I have served as a public representative for 25 years, first at local level, then as a member of my national parliament for over 17 years, most recently as Ireland's Minister for Finance. I have the deepest respect for you as the directly elected representatives of the citizens of the European Union. One of the politicians who inspired me during my formative years was John Hume, a peacemaker, a statesman and a proud member of this Parliament for 25 years. I assure you that in my work, your voice and the voice of the people you represent will be heard. Honourable members, in asking for your support today, I will set out my vision for this portfolio over the next 5 years and how it fits into the President's broader political guidelines on European security, competitiveness and the green and digital transition. In the current geopolitical context, we must cherish and defend the values that make the EU a beacon of peace, tolerance and hope, including democracy, respect for fundamental rights and the rule of law. Many risks were identified prior to this year's European elections, including disinformation threats and sophisticated manipulative methods using AI. The fact that there were no major disruptions to the conduct of the elections was remarkable, but it did not happen by chance, and I want to pay tribute to the work of Parliament and Vice President Jourova in particular. As President von der Leyen has said, our democracy is a constant work in progress, and over the next 5 years, should you confirm me, I will make this a priority. Central to our approach will be the Democracy Shield, a new integrated framework to bring together all the key elements needed to protect and defend our democracies from foreign information manipulation and interference. And as the directly elected representatives of European citizens, your input is essential. I intend to take into account the recommendations from the work of the special committees on foreign interference, and I want you to have joint ownership of this work. First, working closely with my colleagues, we will need to improve our expertise, preparedness and capacity in countering foreign information manipulation, interference and disinformation, while guaranteeing a reliable information framework. Second, we must strengthen resilience in our societies, improving awareness of disinformation and media literacy, particularly among younger generations. Media freedom and the safety of journalists are central to a questioning, dynamic and democratic society. Third, we must ensure integrity of electoral processes and the safety of election candidates. In the face of mounting threats to their security, we need to protect election candidates from undue pressure, particularly women, who are often subjected to abuse amplified by misogynist stereotypes. And we will champion civic engagement and participation, including through youth dialogues and citizens' panels, to bring citizens' ideas directly into our policy making. European democracy needs to be more vibrant. The sense of belonging to a society that values and respects who you are, that protects your individual rights, is the basis of our union. Should you confirm me, I will work tirelessly to uphold the Charter of Fundamental Rights. This will include building greater awareness of the Charter among citizens and empowering civil society. The importance of upholding fundamental rights must mean that compliance with the Charter should be factored in to Member States' access to the many benefits which flow from EU membership. Where breaches of the Charter occur in the application of EU law, we stand ready to act, using all means at our disposal, including launching infringement proceedings, which have proved to be an effective tool. And by demonstrating our steadfast commitment to protecting fundamental rights, we will also ensure all candidate countries are proud of the union they seek to join. In today's world, where the resilience of our democracies, societies and economies are constantly put to the test, our values are what bind us together and make us stronger. And just as citizens need to feel democracy working for them and that their fundamental rights are protected, they must see that the rule of law is upheld across the European Union. And they look towards the European Union to make sure that this is the case in all Member States. Honourable Members, if confirmed, the promotion and defence of the rule of law throughout our Union will be an absolute priority for me. I would like to acknowledge the unwavering commitment of Commissioner Reinders to defending the rule of law in our Union, and if confirmed, I intend to build on his work with your support. The rule of law is an essential safeguard for the functioning of our democracies, the protection of individual rights and the prosperity of our societies and economies. It lies at the heart of a union of equality, opportunity and social fairness. The Rule of Law report, developed by the Commission in the last 5 years, has proven to be an important tool to detect, prevent and address emerging challenges in Member States. I will fully engage with Member States, acting as an honest broker to prevent rule of law related issues occurring in the first place and to resolve those that arise as a forthright guardian of our values. I will also engage with civil society organisations and stakeholders on the ground. My emphasis will be on achieving measurable progress in addressing rule of law deficiencies. I believe we need to respond effectively to failings when they occur, and I will not hesitate to act where appropriate, using the full toolbox of measures at my disposal. Building on the existing Rule of Law report, I will oversee the introduction of a stronger focus on the single market. The rule of law is a precondition for mutual trust and a vital element of competitiveness and the fostering of a business environment that supports investment and innovation. I am also committed to promote the rule of law in our neighbourhood, and I look forward to including more accession countries in the Rule of Law report as and when they are ready. Together with the Commissioner for the Budget, we will develop a closer link between the Rule of Law report recommendations and financial support. Respect for the rule of law is a must for EU funds. We will propose that EU funding also be dedicated to national measures, for example on fighting corruption and to protecting the EU financial interests. I will also propose the first ever comprehensive EU strategy against corruption to foster integrity, to strengthen coordination among all relevant authorities and stakeholders in this area. Honourable Members, the world around us has become more fragmented and unstable. Organised crime groups are on the rise, targeting our society, economy and indeed our European budget. And this is why, if confirmed, I will work towards making the fight against crime more effective throughout the prosecution chain. I will work together with the Commissioner for the Budget to improve our anti-fraud architecture. This should include reflecting on areas in which the European Public Prosecutor's Office will need more powers to look at cross-border serious crime, in particular corruption that impacts union funds and cannot be handled alone by Member States. And I will work to improve cooperation between the EPO, Eurojust, Europol and OLAF. Every year, 75 million people in the EU fall victim to a crime, and many of you have expressed to me your concern as to how victims are treated. So I will propose a new victims' rights strategy to ensure a well-functioning, victim-centred justice system that not only aims to establish the truth, but also the right of victims to a remedy and I will explore how we can strengthen the European arrest warrant. I will also propose a strategy on the use of digital technologies to ensure justice is more efficient, resilient and secure everywhere in the Union. If confirmed, I would like to explore how we can further strengthen our fight against crime. I would particularly value your perspective, and I look forward to the opportunity to engage with you on this important topic. Honourable Members, at the border of our Union, there is a country courageously fighting to defend its freedom and the lives of its citizens. Since Russia's unjustified invasion of Ukraine, the EU has been steadfast in its support of Ukraine. I would like to pay tribute to the members of this Parliament for their ongoing support of Ukraine. If confirmed, I will continue to work to ensure that we play a full part in the efforts of the international community to ensure Russia's full accountability for the crime of aggression and the war crimes it is committing. Honourable Members, the next Commission mandate will have a clear focus on enhancing European competitiveness. There are many ways I can contribute to this, in particular by promoting independent, efficient and effective justice systems which support a thriving investment and business climate. Simplified and harmonised rules in the area of civil and company law can substantially reduce administrative and legal costs associated with judicial proceedings for businesses. I think the time is right for a fresh look at the future of EU civil and company law, building on the conclusions of the Letta and Draghi reports. And I want members of this House, Member States, industry, SMEs and academia to be part of this reflection. In this context, we will examine how to promote the use of digitalisation to tap into the enormous growth potential of AI. This includes taking stock of work to date on finding the right balance for liability rules in this field to give citizens confidence that their rights can be effectively protected. And more generally, we will also need to look beyond company and civil law at the full range of rules applicable to business life. We will look together at how a new EU-wide legal status, the 28th regime, could help innovative companies grow by overcoming legal, administrative and fiscal barriers and creating common conditions for all key aspects of business activity. Honourable Members, the single market has been the greatest single driver of the European economy. Further deepening of the single market has the potential to unlock considerable benefits for our consumers. And if confirmed, I will develop a new consumer agenda for the next 5 years. This will address the digital and green transition, including sustainable growth, and a specific action plan for consumers to be able to fully access goods and services in the single market. Product safety is an essential prerequisite of a thriving economy, and I am pleased that the General Product Safety Regulation begins to apply on the 13th of next month, and I thank all the MEPs for their work in advancing this important initiative. I recognise the concerns that many members have expressed to me regarding unsafe products sold through e-commerce platforms. In response and with your support, I will assess the need to update legislation and ensure enforcement. Our aim must be to ensure the compliance with safety requirements and consumer rights throughout the EU and a level playing field for all of the businesses in the Union. But for consumers to trust the market, they need to know that their rights are respected, also when they buy or navigate online. And that is why I will take forward a Digital Fairness Act to reinforce consumer protection in targeted areas to complement the existing EU digital rule book. I want to make sure that consumers are not exploited for commercial purposes, that social media influencers are not misleading our consumers, and that our children are sufficiently protected online. I will address dark patterns, marketing by social media influencers, addictive design of digital products and unfair personalisation practices, and working with colleagues, the protection of minors from harmful content and practices will be a priority. I will ensure that the protection of our children from manipulative practices when playing online games remains a priority in consumer policy. Many members have raised the issue of digital subscriptions, noting that it is considerably more difficult to cancel than it is to subscribe, and I will work with you to address this issue. The General Data Protection Regulation has been a success, and I will ensure this legislation is properly enforced in a manner that is coherent across the Union and applied in line with the new EU digital rulebook. Dear honourable members, I do not underestimate the task at hand, nor the responsibility I am asking you to entrust me in upholding the most cherished values of this Union. I believe I have the qualities and experience needed to tackle the challenges ahead and to support President von der Leyen and my fellow Commissioner-designates in our collective work, not only in strengthening our security, safeguarding our values and boosting our competitiveness, but also proving our worth to European citizens and those who will join our Union in the future. In conclusion, I reiterate my appreciation for your engagement with me over recent weeks and the many policy suggestions you have put forward. I reaffirm my commitment to the Framework Agreement and the provision of complete and timely information to Parliament, honouring the principle of equal treatment of Parliament and Council. And should I be confirmed, I look forward to attending plenary debates and committee meetings on many occasions to engage in dialogue with you, cooperating in a spirit of mutual respect. We have much work to do in the years ahead, and working together, I know we can achieve a more prosperous and secure Europe and a brighter future for all our citizens. Thank you for your patience, and I look forward now to our discussion.
Thank you.